Welcome to 3 Beers and a Topic, where we each eat 3 beers
Where we eat beer
and talk about stuff.
We're all a little drunk
Today's
right
going to be a little different, though. We have 8 beers of different Mexican types from a variety pack, Dan.
Yes. So we've got on the list, I'm going to probably pronounce all of these very incorrectly. Tecate, a light imported beer.
That looks like Budweiser.
Dos Equis.
I know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Carta Blanca.
That looks like Stella.
Does not
You should
actually.
try that one.
It does, actually. The label at first, I was like, did I get Stella? And then Bohemia. Those were a lot easier to pronounce than I thought. Ooh, is that a Pilsner?
I'm going to try that
It
one.
is a Pilsner. I'm excited.
All right, so the way we're going to do this is simple. We're each going to grab one of these and try it. If you like it, you just keep it to you. Okay?
Yes.
You can't just claim 4 beers.
That's 2. Learn to
That's
count.
No. Okay, I'll take this one.
Just so we're clear.
And basically, if you don't like it, you'll pass it to your buddies. But if you do like it, so we're not, sharing.
So it's kind of like a
backwash.
puff, puff, pass?
Yeah, puff, puff, pass.
It's like a gulp pass.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sip, sip,
And
pass.
today's topic, I didn't tell Andy this one, did I?
I told him.
Why'd you stop telling Andy what the topics
He
are?
told me.
Because you never tell us, and so I like to prep people just a little bit.
It's almost as if we're a professional.
We are?
Some of us.
I guess technically, if we make money for doing
Honestly,
this.
technically
We're
speaking, we are.
professional-ish.
There you go. That's probably about right.
All right, so
I'm going to try that Bohemia. You trying that too? What are you trying, the Budweiser?
well, why don't you let Andy try that first, in case he likes it, since he doesn't like sharing
That is
beer, and he can have the first sip because you don't care.
I don't care, but
You're
what if he claims it?
Well, then that's unfortunate for you.
Nope, not claiming it.
Okay. You didn't open up anything for Andy?
No, because I wanted us to try the Pilsner at the same time and then go through some of them. But I can open one for you. Which one would you
I like that.
I actually do, too. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Pilsners in
I like
general.
I was going to say, I'm not generally a Pilsner guy.
So, okay, today's topic.
I'm like that guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm a Pilsner man.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
What's that guy?
The really boring boyfriend of Amy.
He's always talking about Pilsners.
Always talking about Pilsners.
Okay, so we are recently it was announced due to NBC deciding it's going to have a streaming service because we need more.
We don't have enough.
I'm almost certain Andy's not tracking this. They've announced a series of remakes they're doing for their streaming service.
Oh, I'm tracking.
Are you?
So I actually just had an idea for a website that we should jump on fast. It's
start
literally just a website where you search a show and it'll tell you what streaming service it's on.
Genius.
That is genius.
That is actually a really good idea.
So anyway,
Dibs.
Not
you
only that,
steal it,
You
you
can
go.
also do like movies, like what streaming service can you watch this movie
It's
on?
just
Yeah,
simply
yeah, yeah.
if something
That's
is
actually not a
available
bad
on
idea.
streaming, you can search it and it'll say it's here, here, or here. Because whenever you Google it, it's never what
doesn't tell you what service it's on,
always you can buy it here or
Yeah.
here or here.
this kind of relates to us talking about TV shows today, but I was right. I want everyone to know this. I had a bunch of people go.
I doubt that seriously, but go ahead.
A lot of people were hitting me up and they're like, Benny, why are you guys covering the Smallville comic series on the channel? And I'm like, one, a lot of people like Smallville. 2, Crisis on Infinite Earths is coming up in the
And
DC.
Tom Welling is coming back as Superman.
Why you gotta spoil my? They just announced it 2 hours ago. How did you even know that?
Because they've been talking about it in the chat.
Oh. So I did it. I was like, almost guarantee you, Tom Welling's going to be returning as Smallville Superman. So I'm prepping for that. And everyone's like, he wasn't announced. He wasn't
I wonder if
announced.
he'll be in costume.
They're saying he is.
Oh,
according
that'd
to
be
this.
sweet. Since we didn't actually really see him in the costume.
All right, I want to try this one.
I actually kind of like this one. I mean, it's not like the greatest beer in the world, but I would, if I had to, I would drink it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
actually,
it's not
you know,
too-
Mexican beer's not bad at all. I've always been really
Budweiser.
high for that. Apparently.
Hello. What do you sound like that?
Say that now.
What
That's
is wrong
reminding
with,
me.
what is
Are you
wrong with
Mickey
your
Mouse?
beer?
It's like sorry, when he said it, it's like Budweiser. I'm just continuously thinking of shows because I think of Superstore. She's like, this is my homemade craft beer. So that's Bud Light.
I remember that episode.
It's like, no, I made it at home. It's Bud Light. No, I promise. I gave it to my friend. He was like, that's Bud Light. And I was like, yeah, that's Bud Light.
I love that character in that show. So anyway, back to the show discussion. The
Yes.
reason I wanted to go to you first, Andy, was
So I could spoil it for you.
no, not that.
Oh.
What show? What remake am I talking about that you are tracking? I assumed you weren't going to be tracking any of this.
I
we actually
track
talked about it
everything,
earlier,
and
I
I
think.
also found out it's not actually happening. So
Ah,
I'm happy because
the
I was
Princess Bride
I was
remake?
about to storm the castle. All right, honestly,
So
okay.
So the Princess Bride, correct?
which is quite possibly the greatest movie of all time.
I
And
agree.
while generally people ask me what my favorite movie is, I usually say Empire Strikes Back. If I had a moment to think about it, The Princess Bride definitely squeaks out as my favorite movie of all
yeah,
time.
but there was rumors that it was going to be remade.
Which you can't.
We
do.
luckily checked beforehand,
there are
and that
no
are just
reports of it.
rumors.
Yes.
Thank gosh.
Supposedly, what it is people have mentioned, oh, maybe we should remake The Princess Bride,
Yeah.
but no one involved who have the licenses and thing like that want
Right.
to remake The Princess Bride.
Good.
Well, and that's a good thing.
Yes,
I think
it
that
is quite
should be the
possibly a
topic
perfect
of-
Problem
movie.
with okay, so I'm already kind of against most remakes. Some of them come out okay, some of them don't.
Remakes.
But that one of all, like, I feel the movie even still holds up.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and watch
But we
it
were
tonight.
talking about it, and a lot of it that
Is the
makes it
cast.
good. Exactly, it's the cast. It's
Yeah.
you can't like. It's one of those ones where you can't have a new actor do their take on the character. It has to be that specific person, and like
Yeah.
the inconceivable guy.
Yeah.
you can't have someone else because they don't say inconceivable in the
Exactly,
same way,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
made it so good.
Right.
Like
Who's gonna play Andre the Giant?
exactly,
Who's gonna play Fezzik? All right, it doesn't work.
exactly.
Are you writing an email? What's going
What is
on
he,
right now?
We are tweeting about Tom Welling.
Ben's like, I can't let anybody else steal this from me.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
You're possibly going to make an Instagram post about it later too.
Nice. Okay. So since that
The second one I wanted to bring up, and this is
Okay.
the other thing I wanted to talk to Andy about, but because he already knows, Battlestar Galactica is being remade.
It's not a reboot. Apparently, it is going to be set in the same universe as the reboot. Therefore, it's not technically. This series is not a reboot. It's in the same universe as the reboot from 2004. That was quite good.
so it's
that
a
was one of those
continuation
times.
of the reboot.
Exactly. That was one of
The
those times where a
rebooting.
reboot actually worked.
Our camera guy who's obsessed with sci-fi is like, what? What?
Gary, you don't even like
Unfortunately,
Battlestar Galactica.
This is the problem
No,
with
you
being gluten free.
yeah,
You don't get to be a part of the beer
Yeah,
channel.
you pretentious bastard. Yeah, so I did look at that because I was a big fan of Battlestar Galactica.
I mean, I think we all are here, except our camera guy.
I don't know. I've
He
never heard
hates
of
it.
you watching it.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We didn't talk in that time frame, so because I was 18, you were in your 20s apparently, and
What a
drug
claim
fueled.
to
But yeah, no, I did look into that, and yes, it's supposedly it is in the same universe as the 2004 reboot, but it's not rebooting it again.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Andy try.
I'm trying to
this
find the
last
list
one.
of them. The issue I'm running into is when I searched the reboot, which is what I looked up earlier this morning on Twitter to find the full list. Now it's only coming up with Tom Welling.
He is dreamy, or he was. I don't know what he looks
Hold
like
on.
now. Actually,
Tom Welling is the Smallville guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me look up
We've
NBC
jumped around so
reboots.
many things. I'm like, wait, which one is it again?
Oh, okay. Here's another. How about this one then? Here's another discussion. By the way, I do know Dos Equis, and I do like it.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Dos Equis, I believe we have actually already drank on the show on one of our very, very first episodes that actually did not go to the Benny's Beard channel.
Ah, okay. Before it actually, I really need to remember to actually unlist those and let people watch them. But whatever.
That's not bad. You should try that one.
The Carta Blanca.
Yeah.
Okay. So far
The
so far, I'm
the
gonna settle
Stella
on-
looking one.
Okay, the Stella looking one.
It looks like Mexican Stella.
I don't think. I think you might be. I don't think you are, but I
I
don't
dated
know.
her once.
Are either one of you guys a fan of The Office? Because apparently we're getting a reboot.
No, I
Another
hate-
one?
Another one.
Technically speaking, The Office US
It's a reboot.
is a reboot of The Office UK.
Honestly, no, I didn't like The Office. It's too cringy for me.
I have seen it. I would say I enjoy what I've seen, but it's not one of those shows I watch all the
Yeah.
time. Like I know people have watched it
I
entirely.
know some
several
people who
times.
treat it pretty much like a religion.
Yeah,
and
I
like
don't,
if you don't like The Office, I hate you as a person and you need to die.
Yeah. No.
But like personally,
That's how Rob is.
yeah. If you know me, you know I don't like super cringy things, and The Office unfortunately breaches my cringe
Cringe.
barrier.
Sure.
Whereas Brooklyn Nine-Nine gets close sometimes, but it's not too cringy that I can't enjoy the show as a whole.
The Office did bring us John Krasinski, though.
I will say
And
this.
thank it for
It
that.
is the birth of a lot of good
Yes.
actors.
I will say
Yes.
this. I got all 4 of these in front of me.
Yeah.
They all taste the same.
Well, that's probably because you're
Mexican beer.
drinking a bunch of beer
I
without a palate cleanser.
I will say they're very
Somebody
similar.
bring me a
but I-
saltine.
They're very, very like slightly.
They're very.
different.
I
They
think
are
it-
different,
Was your
but
was your
they're-
variety pack light beers?
No, it's Mexican beers.
Just Mexican
It
beers.
was just Mexican variety pack.
Why is Corona not in here?
So wait, was the point of
So I
this
don't
just
think
to
that's
get my
technically
reaction to a Battlestar Galactica and a
Well,
Princess
I
Bride
wanted to open
remake?
with, yeah, I wanted to open with
watching.
those. But we're talking about the reboots in general.
Okay.
The problem I have with the hump is that I think it's way too soon.
Well, it's not just way too soon.
Didn't it end within 5 years?
I feel no, it was a
No,
lot
it was
longer than
before
that.
that,
But I
yeah.
feel like the best example of why I don't think it's going to do well is when Steve Carell was removed as the boss, and they brought in Will Ferrell for a short period of time. Or it was
2013, yeah.
it was either him or it was the guy from
was
The
Will Ferrell.
Hangover. It was Will Ferrell. Everyone hated it.
Mm.
Everyone threw a fit. They were like, "Nope, Steve Carell
That's
is
one
the
of those.
boss."
I was gonna say it's one of the things that made that show.
Exactly. And so
yeah.
it's like, if you're going to remake it, the reason why the American version worked was an English Office is very different from an American
Sure,
Office.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're very different cultures, all of that.
Yeah.
If you remake it in
it's
America.
just another American Office.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the
They
same show, but different actors.
They should make it, but it should be Steve Carell's character.
Will Ferrell
No,
was on the show.
Okay, so Will Ferrell was on
He
the
was
show.
on for two. He
I'm
was on
pretty
for 2 to
sure-
3 episodes, and then they swapped it out with a more permanent position.
I
person.
think the replacement I'm thinking of then might
Ed
be.
Helms.
Yeah, the guy from The Hangover.
Yeah, but Will Ferrell. No, he was
No, not The Hangover.
because Will Ferrell was the replacement,
Let me know when we're good.
but he only lasted like 3 episodes.
But my point being, they replaced one character,
Right.
and people threw a fit.
They should remake The Office, but current day, and it's set in like a Google.
Okay, so wait, so the Princess
think
Bride
that's a
one.
show,
Where
actually.
did that?
I think
Where
so.
did that rumor for Princess Bride start? Then I thought it was part of
So,
this because these are all coming out of NBC's Peacock service.
Yes,
2021. They're going to go live with their streaming service, and these are the things they want to bring to it.
So there was a CEO who was talking about the things that some of the ideas that NBC has, and I guess he had said that, one of the things he kind of offhandedly mentioned was like, we always have people coming in talking about they want to remake something, remake this, remake that, remake. He's like, I have like somebody in here every day talking about they want to remake Princess Bride.
Oh,
So apparently that turned into they're
Someone-
remaking Princess Bride.
Someone did not hear the rest of the sentence. They
Right.
just
Right,
heard
yeah.
remake.
And to the point where like the actors were weighing in on it, like Carrie Hughes and all them were like tweeting like this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
The thing that makes that movie was the amazing cast and the script, and
you won't
Billy
be
be able to do
Crystal's
it
still
again.
alive?
That
Yeah.
and
Okay.
He's
and as
super
funny
old,
as it
but
is,
yes. He actually could look like Miracle Max now without all the makeup.
but like
Genius.
another thing
What was
that
it
would
looks
not
like
work
now?
with things, movies like that, is the poor or the less developed sets and different.
Well, I mean, that
like,
was part of the charm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm
what
saying
it
is like you
was,
can't
yeah.
remake it because
Yeah, there
we're
was, like-
so far advanced
Right,
that it
yeah.
would look almost too good.
Like
Yeah.
part of the charm was the cheesiness of it, the comedy aspect, the thing that were like
Like the rodent of unusual size,
Exactly.
which was just a stuffed animal, basically.
Well, there was a midget. There was a little dude in a suit at one point too. But yeah,
didn't know
he's like
that.
fighting it. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's that aspect of it. The fact that it was. The whole thing is basically making fun of fairy tales while at the same
Right.
time being a fairy tale. Like that's what made it great. To try to redo it, you'd never recapture.
Yeah.
The joys of it. I saw that movie when I was probably 4 or 5.
It became like your favorite movie for a while. We watched
and
it
still
multiple
honestly
times because
is.
you liked
Me
it.
and my father used to watch it every Thanksgiving. That was our tradition. We
Yeah.
would watch Princess Bride. So yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I think it's been 6 years since The Office. I still think it's too soon.
It's too
Yes,
soon.
it is way too.
Especially,
It's-
I
actually-
won't even say it's too soon. I'll say it's just in too much syndication. It'd be like
I mean,
remaking
actually-
Friends.
realistically,
yeah, no,
every
that's
time they do a
exactly
reboot or a remake, everybody just compares it. Well, like this guy's nowhere near as good as Steve Carell
Yeah.
was. Like, and you're not going to get past that. You might get new fans,
Mm-hmm.
but then 90% of people are going, yeah, but you really should watch the original.
I think something like that, a reboot or continuation or anything, the best examples are Fuller House and Girl Meets World. The originals were amazing.
Sure.
The reboot / continuation, anything like that, did not do well.
Sure,
kind of
yeah,
bombed.
yeah.
And I think that's one of those things. Is I feel like The Office is in such a high regards to just the general public, because a very large portion of the population enjoy the show The Office.
Sure,
Drink
yeah.
already.
And I feel like
This is a large group of people love this show. No, I'm with you. Keep going,
my point being, it's so beloved that people, regardless of how long it took, people would not approve of a remake.
Yep.
Friends is another
Oh
example.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
If
Friends,
they came out
like-
with a Friends remake, what would even be the point of
Exactly.
that? Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother is another one. Like
The-
all
I-
of these shows,
They're too much syndication. They're you can see them too easily, I think, is the
Yeah.
biggest problem.
because when it comes down to it, there pretty much already are reboots. Superstore.
Yeah.
That's an Office reboot,
Well, yeah,
but it's based
realistically,
in
yeah.
a grocery store.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing
in a
where
Walmart. Jeez.
whatever. You know what I'm
No, it's
saying?
not.
Cloud
it's in
Nine.
a superstore.
Exactly.
Ah.
But my point being, like, with that type of show, it's more of you just need a different version of it.
Sure,
to do. 'Cause
yeah.
when it comes down to it, How I Met Your Mother is Friends, except they go to a bar instead of a coffee shop.
Yeah. Do you remember the episode where they went to a coffee shop?
I
They,
don't know.
they start off the episode in a coffee shop, and they're all just sitting there like, this is not nearly as good as a bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, you even have those direct comparison of the characters. You've got Marshall and Lily, Chandler and Monica. You've got, like, Barney and Joey. You have Ted and Ross. There are direct comparisons of all the different characters. And
Gary's making noises over
Yeah.
there. Threw me off.
Well, you know what? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to move on to the next two that they announced.
Oh, God. There's more.
There is. Saved by the Bell is going to get a reboot that follows cast members Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez.
I feel like that would be
Well,
similar
and here's the
to
best
What
one.
are they being saved by the bell from?
Here's the best.
Saved by
That
the
was an
Gong.
allusion to high school.
Hold on. It gets better.
All right.
Zach Morris is the governor of California in the reboot.
I would have voted for him. Honestly, he has that ability to stop time and
See,
talk directly to the camera.
Did you not see that? Like the whole theory?
I actually
Zach
never
Morris-
saw Saved by the Bell.
What?
That was before me. Well, you got to remember, I grew up
Oh,
in
that's
England.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
I got things later than you did here, and by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time I
yeah.
did move here, that was no longer really a big thing.
Because Saved by the Bell was on in the 90s, and in England at the time it was, what, 78, I think. Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's my running joke with Natalie in France. I'm like, I go visit, and I'm like, you're 10 years behind, and now she agrees with me now that she's been here.
Oh, yeah.
for
the
so long.
80s just hit in France, actually. Everybody's in jelly bracelets.
Actually, that's the best example of that is from How I Met Your
Yeah,
Mother
yeah.
with Robin. She's like,
That's where I got
we
that
were
joke.
a decade behind.
Yeah, the 80s didn't hit Canada about 95.
So I'm really excited because this reminds me of when Saved by the Bell the college years dropped.
But
and I was
I
like,
remember watching that one, too.
it was like you just kept watching. They're just getting older.
My God, this is going to happen to me.
I
Because
remember
I don't know
liking
why
the
they don't
college
just.
years, though.
I don't know why they don't just do a Saved by the Bell reboot set in like junior high or high school.
yeah,
Because they were
'Cause, I
turning
mean,
into a
realis-
drama nowadays.
it sounds like they're more trying to do
Well, I
a Full House to Fuller House or Boy Meets World
Yes.
to Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
It has
Or
been
Punky
so
Brewster
long.
to Punky Brewster because we're getting the reboot, which is the older version of the actress.
It's actually Punky
being
Brewster.
Is she still wearing 2 different socks?
Remember how crazy she was? I looked her up to see what she looks like nowadays.
Pretty.
Lost your train of thought on that?
if anything else, like they should just do the Saved by the Bell, like the people's kids go to high school and they all happen.
Yeah.
To be,
I mean,
isn't
So
that what
the
they
girl-
did with Girl
that's pretty
Meets
much
World?
Girl
Yeah,
Meets
yeah,
World,
yeah.
yeah.
They could definitely do that, I think, and maybe they will. Maybe because they just said that these stars are going to return.
Yeah.
So maybe it will be like Zach Morris.
Belding is still the principal. Genius.
That would be the best thing ever. Did
Genius. You can't get Screech on there anymore. That dude went insane.
you hear that they won't talk to him?
Well, yeah, because he went insane. He's an asshole.
No, not just like he apparently went out and revealed everything about them.
He did like an unauthorized biography of
So,
the show. or
so there's a
something.
character on there. I forget his name, but the real name, but the character played Screech.
It's something Diamond.
Yeah, Dustin Diamond.
Dustin Diamond, yeah.
So
yeah.
basically, most of the cast went on. They weren't wildly successful, but they all got follow-on careers.
Right.
I think the most successful was the guy that played Zach Morris. He ended up doing
He was on
SVU or something like that.
No, it
Or-
was one of those One of those cop shows. But yeah.
He was on one of
One
those.
of the 80.
Mario Lopez lives in every hotel in the world.
And he's also really big on E.
Didn't Mario Lopez do the Yo Mama show?
I think
No,
he did.
I'm thinking. Who am I? I'm thinking the guy who played Fez. Was that? No, that wasn't Mario Lopez.
That wasn't Mario Lopez.
No, but that guy
That was
went on.
70 show. Yeah.
Yeah, he went on
There's
to do
a
the
reboot.
Yo Mama show.
Elizabeth
so
Berkley did
bad.
Showgirls.
Yeah. There's a high.
And then she had a few other roles after that, but I haven't followed her career since then.
Yeah, but I watched that one. Well, parts of it.
Story. I remember when I was like 13, 14. Our buddy, you may remember him, not your Joe, my Joe, Big Joe.
Oh yeah.
He had his mom.
That was
rent-
actually his name.
Not Big Joe. Big
Joe. Yeah, that was his actual name.
He ended up renting Showgirls, and being 13, I'm like, the girl was Saved by the Bell's gonna take her top off. Booby. And his mom left. We're having a sleepover. We stuck it in there.
Yeah, you were.
Now here's the awkward part: when you're a kid and you have a sleepover where there's like a topless girl, or whatever. You're like, what do you do now?
This show is not ready for that. We should not talk about what happened in that room.
Anyway, so I totally lost my. Oh yeah, most of them moved on, but Dustin Diamond, apparently to make money, the girl that played Lisa just quit. She just quit acting.
Yes.
as far
Yeah,
as I
something
know.
like
But everyone
that,
else
yeah.
went on careers. They all did what they wanted. He couldn't get anything. I think he was in a porn or something for a little while. He did a bunch of weird
good
stuff.
Lord. Here's when you
Okay.
don't want to stumble across on the hub.
And what ended up happening was he released an unauthorized biography of all the dirty laundry of the original show.
Oh, damn.
Now, bear in mind, all the actors are still friends and just don't talk about what happened on the show.
Right.
So
And
then
they all said that none of that stuff was true. Also, yeah.
they all came out and said that.
Mark Gossler, I think is Zach's name.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, none of that happened. I don't know what he's talking about.
And basically that's what happened. They all were like,
Yeah.
he came out with this thing, and then they were all like, no, that none of this happened, and they don't talk to him anymore. So it'd be hilarious if he's on the show somehow.
That would actually be really funny. I think Jimmy Fallon did like a reunion where they all showed up for a skit on the show, and he was not part of it.
I saw that. They were doing like another episode, but they were all their adult
Yeah, but
versions.
they were all, no, they were still in high school. But they were all like, I mean, they're in like their late 30s, 40s.
Hello,
at
my
this
Yeah,
point.
they're all
Kids.
older actors now.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. He was not on that reboot. I think he basically took the role of Screech for that.
I think so. Yeah,
That was the whole
I think
point
it
of
was
that.
I like
Or
it.
like it was Jimmy's friends with everyone.
I like it.
I like it when Jimmy Fallon does those things. Where
Jimmy
he like
Fallon's
installs himself into a show. Because he's done that a couple times.
Yeah,
now, I
he
think.
with different things.
Right.
Yeah. What was the other one? It was Saved by the Bell and what?
Punky Brewster.
Punky Bruce.
Now, I remember when I was a
See,
kid,
once
I
again,
liked Punky Brewster.
I
but
watched
there's-
that as a child.
There's
yeah.
still one episode that still stands out with me to this day. The episode was about don't let kids get into refrigerators. It was like a PSA episode. A kid was playing
Seriously,
hide and
folks,
seek.
don't let it happen.
A kid was playing hide and seek, climbed into an abandoned refrigerator, and it's sealed that he couldn't get out. And they're like, well, he could have died. And if you
That
see-
almost happened in Supernatural.
I think I found that kid in Fallout. Actually,
Luckily, though, he was safe from the nuclear blast.
that's what matters. Him and Indiana Jones.
But it was hilarious because like to
And
this day I remember
aliens.
that and them turning to the camera and kind of like doing the whole PSA thing of being like, and if you find like an abandoned refrigerator, like
Don't get
'cause- and
inside.
it stands out of my mind because I remember sitting there going, is that a common thing in the city? Because we didn't live in the city, we lived in like rural.
Ben was like, man, there was my weekend. I was gonna play in that fridge I found in
it
the
looks huge.
at the dumpster.
But Punky Brewster apparently is going to continue with the original actor, Soleil Moon Frye or Soleil.
Yeah.
She's a weird name.
All right, so let's switch topics. Not topics. Let's redirect this
Well,
discussion.
the Battlestar Galactica reboot is being done by the guy that did Mr. Robot and Homecoming.
Oh, it could be good. Yeah.
Gary's face says
But like
no.
I said, it's not a reboot. It's supposed to be set in the same universe.
Right.
As the reboot.
They're calling them
As a-
all reboots.
Yeah, I
but
know, yeah. So let's talk about when a reboot actually worked.
Okay.
this is a long
That's-
episode of 3 Years in a
that's-
Topic.
Thanks
might
for
change.
watching.
I disagree. Battlestar Galactica.
That was a good
2004.
one.
Great reboot.
Yeah, I like that.
That's it.
And I like the
Dread.
twist they put on it.
Dread from 2012-ish.
Let's talk shows, not
Okay.
movies. Because movies are easier to get right.
I disagree. RoboCop.
No. You didn't want him in his fiberglass black suit?
No.
The benefit,
Ghostbusters.
Though, the benefit, though, to a movie being remade compared to the show is longevity. Because a movie, you either do well or you do poorly.
And then it's gone.
That's it.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
a
yeah.
show...
They've just remade Charmed. and I hear it's doing very well, but I'm not watching it.
Edith watches it.
Does she?
She does, and as far as I know, she enjoys it. 'Cause to my
Right.
knowledge, she watched the entire season. So.
Here's a show that got technically reboot: Full Metal Alchemist with Brotherhood.
that technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, that's a reboot that did very well.
Yeah.
That
Sabrina worked. Yep. Sabrina did a reboot.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sabrina
Sabrina
I think was a
Teenage
decent
Witch.
reboot.
Although I do miss the original Clarissa comedy version of Sabrina.
I just miss the
talking cat?
The talking cat. What's his name? Damn it.
I don't know. He's in the new one, I think.
Salem.
Yeah.
I miss
I'm
Salem.
pretty sure
Yeah, but it's
Salem-
not funny. It's
No.
not like Salem, the animatronic cat, which would have been hilarious if they just had an animatronic cat.
Right.
No, he's like a demon familiar in this one, and he doesn't crack any jokes.
No.
Right.
He's a demon.
Yeah.
Cobra
Demons can
Kai.
be
Has
funny.
anyone else watched Cobra Kai?
no,
I have,
because that's
yes.
a YouTube.
I
one.
loved it.
My favorite was when they were about to fight outside in his yard, and his wife comes out, and she's like, "Really?"
What are you, 16?
yeah. Because they're in like their 40s.
Right.
Which is why the show is great.
Yeah.
But I love it when it first started. I'm like, I'm going to watch a sequel to Karate
Right.
Kid. Oh, this
From
is
the perspective
of the villain.
of the. I would disagree, but
well, yeah,
from
well,
the
now he's not the
perspective-
villain. We know directly that he is not the villain.
I don't
now.
remember
So-
his character's name now, but Billy Zabka,
Right.
from Cobra Kai Dojo.
See, I think that's a good example, though, of a reboot where they kind of capitalized on how almost how stupid it is for this to actually
Sure,
be
yeah.
a reboot. Those do well when but when sometimes they're like, you know what, we're gonna try really, really hard.
Yeah,
You're
and
like,
it just doesn't
you tried
do
a
well.
little too
Yeah,
hard.
it just doesn't go
The Cobra
well.
Kai one's great because it picks up where we basically would be now with them as 40-year-olds.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's
and it
the-
follows from the guy who lost the championship, the bully that you took as the villain.
Yeah.
And you find out it really wasn't as bad as
Yeah,
as
not
it-
actually a bad
Oh,
guy.
you know
Yeah.
he's not a villain if you've ever seen Barney Stinson talk
true.
about the Karate Kid.
that the villain is
with
Mr.
his
Miyagi.
illegal, with his illegal face kick. I root for the Karate Kid. No, I root for the kid who just started and he's from Brooklyn. Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, man.
I think this is a fun episode.
Yeah.
So out of these, what is your favorite beer? I'm going with Dos Equis.
I've only drank this one, so this one.
The Bohemia Pilsner was actually pretty good. I
No.
enjoyed it.
Viewers, do
Oh,
you
I
like
think
it
he said-
better when
I
we
thought he
each
said
try
no.
3 different beers?
No.
Or do you like it better when we kind of crack a bunch and kind of try them out and then just
Or
stick
I
with
drink
one?
one.
He drinks one the whole time. His other 2 are literally here, not open.
Well, they weren't open and I don't have the bottle open.
I give you each one. Him with the like drinking without someone else drinking first is like me with reheating my food. It's a weird thing to other people that don't do it,
Oh, I see.
but
Yeah,
to
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, no, I don't want to eat cold food. I don't want to drink something you
I don't
drink
want to
out
drink
of.
something you already drank out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I actually get
Oh,
that.
I thought you were shoving that at me like, drink it.
Drink the Dos Equis. No, I actually
You're
agree with you.
fired if you
I don't
don't.
mind drinking other people's stuff, but I 100%, like, your thing is weird. I get
What? If I have a burger and it gets
Okay,
cold,
all right,
I'm
hold
reheating
on.
my
Hold on,
frickin'
let's
burger.
clarify here, because Dan's going if it gets cold.
If
and
it's-
I agree if it gets if
some-
it gets
if
if it gets
something is-
slightly not at fully cooked temperature.
You want me to open it for you? Okay.
You actually want to try that one?
I drink Dos. I've had Dos Equis before.
If he
Stay
hasn't,
thirsty,
I would
man.
be kind
It
of
has to.
concerned.
I mean, it's the world's most interesting man.
For Dan, if it gets like okay, for example, I'll give a great example. If we get Chick-fil-A and we come straight home and we hit traffic, Dan has to reheat it.
Not always. Actually, Chick-fil-A does a pretty good job. There
Maybe
are
not.
food.
Okay, maybe not Chick-fil-A, but certain foods.
There is food that I may start eating and it's relatively warm, but I know for a fact that by the time I get to the end, it's going to be cold.
Sure.
Then I will reheat it. If it's something that is supposed to be hot and has become cold, I will reheat it because it's supposed to be hot. If it's supposed to be cold, I'm okay with cold.
But
He's up there eating up ice cream. Yeah.
Dan's thing I find weird. Not drinking other people's drinks. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
And
Dan,
that's,
you
he
freak.
only thinks that because he also does the drinking.
Yeah.
What? Not
And
drinking other
not
people's.
fully enjoying other people drinking out of something.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'll do it.
This turned into a weird ending to the episode.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of CTV.
Dan
Be
doesn't
sure-
like cold pizza, Donis.
No, I don't.
See?
Bye, everybody.
Glorp? Is that the
Glorp,
fruit?
everybody.
Yeah,
Glorp, everybody.